Hey, Jake Schofield here with Schofield Welding. Guys, this isn't my most favorite episode I'm ever going to bring you, alright? But it's needed to be said, and it's something that we can all learn from, and this is what we're going to do, alright? Well, for everybody that knows, I went and took a test about a week ago and busted that sucker bigger than shit, okay? I mean, I'm telling you, that thing, this is not my most favoriteest thing to tell you guys, but it happens. It's not fun. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but there's two ways you can look at it. You can either be pissed, which, don't get me wrong, I beat myself up for a couple hours over it. It was just stupid rookie mistakes, just something that I was not even thinking about. I just walked into this test, knew I was gonna make it, and boom, busted it, all right? There was a procedure on this test. I should have been asking questions about this test. I should have been like, all right, is there a procedure? What do you want it ran at? Like, things like that. I did not. I set this test up as if I was running really hard pipe. I had about a 332 gap, about a nickel landing on it, and I was gonna soak this root in. That's the way I run most of my tests. Unless there's a procedure on a test, I am there to make sure that the root goes in 100% and that it doesn't undercut anything, all right? Well, in this episode, I'm gonna show you how to run a 130 amp root. Things need to be set up for a 130 amp root. It's not just something that you go in and just run, all right? Gaps need to be where they need to be, and so I'm gonna show you how to fit this thing up. In this procedure, I struck off, was getting ready to start running, and the inspector was sitting here and had holes in my leads with an amp reader, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, a voltmeter or whatever. He kept telling my own helper, too cold, too cold, too cold. By the time we got to where the minimum of what he wanted, we were at 130 amps, which to me is pretty screaming hot, and you have to be set up gap-wise for 130 amp root. So, guys, there's two ways you can look at this. You can be pissed, which I was pissed, and then you can learn from it. Now, right here, I'm going to show you how to run a 130 amp root, how to set up for a 130 amp root, and then this is just going to make me better as a welder as well, because I was the one that went and busted the test, not you guys. And so I'm going to try to help you avoid doing that. And but anyways, this is what we're getting ready to do, so come on with us. Let's get this thing prepped. I brought some 10-inch coupons out, 375 wall, and we're gonna go from there. Let's do this. Not my favoriteest thing to tell you guys, all right? I hate busting a test. I have busted my first test. I busted a test for a one-out company, and then I busted this test. So in 8 years, I've busted 3 tests. Not a great track record, but not a bad track record either, all right? So everybody, have a great rest of your day. Hope you enjoy. Let's get these things prepped up. Guys, we're gonna fit this up pretty tight. 130 amps. So my biggest mistake on that test was my gap was way too much. It was not meant for a 130 amp root, and so I took a nickel land, which I don't know what that would be. Maybe like a 332, maybe. I don't know. Nickel land is just what I call it. Nickel land, because your lands are there to hold the heat. And then I'm gonna close this gap up just a little bit more, which is gonna help hold the heat too. So it's gonna take a hotter root and make it a little bit better. Now, part of welding, so one of the things you gotta watch out for when you run a hotter root is undercut on the inside too. So undercut on the inside, when you're running something that hot, you're screaming through it, undercut will bust your test as well. So preheat your pipe, tighter gap, a little bigger land, you'll still be able to kind of soak a root in there, but it's going to help you. Don't go too big, they'll bust you on that because you went too much.
Try.
It's nice having that angle. What do you think? Still too wide?
That's perfect.
So I took the gap.
So that is what I took.
That is all the way down. 130.
Meter on.
Learn from my mistakes. Next time they say 130 amp root, I will
Compared to what it
be a little
was.
more ready for it.
Idea to do like what you're doing there.
Okay. Oh, just leaving it, you mean? No. Or putting more gas. But that's how I fit. I only fit with 2 tacks.
It's just like well, yes, I do too because you can always play with it.
Yeah. And then as soon as that wedge falls, you know it's bolted up.
You tack that other side, or run down this side. Now see, now I do it like see. Now this is gonna be your wide side, so now just jump over and just run that motherfucker all the way down to the bottom.
All right. Cool.
Instead of just running 4 tacks, like sometimes I'll just put, if everything works out right, and just put 3 in it and just run down. Like I'll put
And
my
then this side's gonna be your run side.
like so when I stand mine up, I'll put my 2 tacks in. I put it in jack stands, okay, and then I'll tack that one side. And if it opens up that one, I'll gap the side that I want to tack good to where it won't go anywhere. It'll still open a little, but not a whole lot. So the other side's going to open. So if it's jammed, you tack the side that's the widest. So then when you tack it, it'll open that other side.
Okay.
So when you go down it,
So
like
you
then,
always leave your wide side on the bottom too, yeah?
well, by law, you should. I mean, not law, but by head thinking. If it's going to be wide or if it's going to be messed up, you always put it in the top. Gravity's always going to fix it.
Really?
Gravity's always going to help.
So I've always tried to put it in the bottom, that way when you get to the bottom of the string.
No. Your gap, if you've got a gap, so you tack the top and the bottom of your column is wide, leave it at the top. Because gravity's going to help you. Because you can turn down and feel it. But at the top of the bottom, if you got it perfect, even if it's jammed up, grind into it,
It'll just go.
it'll go.
Yeah.
But gravity will always help you at the top. So
See?
like even if you're fitting something, like in clamps, and say you got high-low, always put your high-low in the top, and always, if it's got to be wide, make it at the top. Always. Never go below 3 and 10 o'clock.
So would it be, so I'd imagine even with TIG, you would leave it at the top.
Yeah, gravity's going to help.
Okay.
Because it'll be, I mean, you can have a gap that wide and fill it with 1/8. But by the time you hot pass it, it'll be perfect.
Okay. So see, this is why experience is so important.
Jake's been
Because I'm
welding
still
for
pretty
10 years.
young at this. Clay's been doing this for 17 years. And just on this test, Clay's only busted 1 test. 17, knock on wood, busted 1 test. And it's because he knows things like this, and I'm still figuring it out just like everybody else is. So what really should have happened with this is I should flip it up, and the wide side should be on the bottom. Now I already have it tacked, so I'm just gonna run it like this. But the other thing I just learned is in the preheat, yes, preheat hard pipe, but don't push on it. So yeah, so Clay just told me that. So this is experience and doing this for years and years. You guys gotta listen to the guys that have been doing this forever, because seriously.
So hard pipe, you're probably going to push about like that.
So just 2-finger it.
Yeah, you're
the whole way.
going to push maybe that hard.
Okay.
Now, if it goes to jamming up, but you still got a gap, you can push a little harder. But now you're gonna want to be able to look at it. So if it's a tie-in, you're not going to be able to look at it. So you're going to want to know. You're going to want to grind into it.
Okay.
So
And don't grind a lot.
grind just a little, just
And then just try it again. If it don't go in, grind a little more. Try it again. Experience. Listen to the guys that have been doing this forever. It's gonna make your life.
But now this
That you'll never learn something.
Yeah.
You should be trying to learn something every single job.
Run this way, it's going to start closing. See the thing is, this is going to close up.
Yeah.
So this side's going to stay. It's going to be perfect. So your top is good. So by the time you get down here, that bottom's going to start closing up. It'll be all right. but if it was me, I would put the wide on top.
Okay.
Because the gravity always helps.
Okay.
It's just like, you know, standing up. You can stand up, and when you go to fall, you're going to fall.
Yeah. And it's gonna help that root hold in this. All right.
See?
This is all freaking good stuff.
Sorry, don't fall.
Damn it, we didn't get him on the JSA.
JSA. That's for the company.
That's the safety company. Everybody knows
Is that hard pipe or something?
I don't know. We don't know. Yeah, this is just for love.
I'm not trying to tell you how to do it.
No, seriously, like things like that, I didn't know that. And so for you to say that probably helped keep me from busting.
Build that fast.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to stay very fast, even roll out low. Say you get 2 inches, 2 sucks.
I hate to.
I can't stand 2 inches. But even if you're going to do it in a rollout wheel, you always roll your fat side, your wide side to the top, and start on there. Because by the time you roll it down, it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Because the wider it is, the top. If it's on top, gravity will help you. I mean, yeah, you might have to sit there and lace it back and forth, step it in there. But if you turn around and look, if you can look on the inside, it'll be tall, but you won't have to worry about pushing it in with a hot.
Be sewed in there.
Yes, sir.
So the gap is on, the bigger gap is on the top.
If you can keep it that way.
3 to 9.
Yeah, if like a tie-in or something like that, or say even your test messes up.
Man, you got my remote? Let me see.
You always know to leave your seams at 12 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Seam pipe, always butt them together and always leave at 12 o'clock. But even if it's wide, say something happened and you messed up.
Okay.
So say your opposite side of your seam is at the bottom. So say your wide side is the seam side.
Mm-hmm.
Leave it at the top. Say it wasn't. Say your seam side is the tight side. Your bottom is the line side. Roll it around the other.
Really?
Dang, that's
Okay.
good. Okay. 138. What do you do?
The amount of pressure on there is very, very minimal. Rod angle is
So in theory, that would have been a tap.
a good lesson here is these windows. Jake did not try to fill that up. He just went past it, kept going, and
Yeah,
he'll
but
run
see,
back
you're
through
not-
it, no
you're
problem.
pushing.
And it'll
No,
fill
I
in
wasn't
nice.
trying.
See how smooth that looks right there?
Yeah. Is it good?
Fuck yeah.
So the one thing, like on this side of that, can you see it?
Yeah.
Does it look undercut?
I don't know, do you? What is your rod like, say, is it fingernailing on you?
No. So I went into my fingernail.
I always roll my hand.
Point
Okay. Yeah.
point to where
Like,
you
even
think
when
it's
I'm going,
undercut.
I just a light little tick on
The whole way down?
all the way down.
Okay.
And
So I
that
always
don't-
just
that
drug.
don't look bad.
There's that one spot right here. See it?
I see it now.
Yeah, it's on that side of it. Yeah, shit, I didn't know that. I'm gonna run about a dozen.
But I gotta give you props. I've never run a Miller, so other than them little pony machines on tack road.
Yeah.
Now them things,
Those things run.
those things are nice.
So this is something I've been trying to figure out too. Is like, I wonder if it's the stiff side of it. Do I need to be stiffer? Do I need to? I'm half. So I've been trying.
But I don't know. I don't know nothing about it.
That's much. So maybe we'll try. Let me finish it out on
You
five.
told me to go on the beat, so you're gonna want to be
On the top. Try to get that water out. That makes sense.
but you're gonna be moving on the beat, though. So I mean, you're gonna move pretty quick. Keep your heat the same height, right there, do that thing bottom.
All right.
Do that on close to it.
No, it's really watery.
So go down 5 then. Yeah, is it close enough?
Well, it's following good. So down.
Down. How far is your...
I was told by half inch.
Half inch? Probably up a quarter. Okay. That's not horrible.
It runs good, like it's following good. It looks good. I ain't have to push on it and let it both drive.
They might balk at it a little. Dude, I'm gonna tell you though, that freaking, I haven't pushed that, like, been that soft ever. Like, I've always tried to just keep 2 fingers.
See how your edges are... See how your edges
They're so much
straight?
tighter. Like,
That's
tight
what you
in.
want. That is what you want. And you want it to be straight. You don't want it to be jagged. Like here. You know,
Like a freaking soaked in root. Like,
yeah, I mean, you want
they're
it
just
to
kind of ugly compared to that.
Yeah, no, that looks actually. I don't. I mean, if you were to get looked at over that, I would know. They should let you hot pass that. And push it. If they look you out for that, I don't think that. Because I don't really see any undercut. I mean, other than that one little spot right there. I mean, just grind into it and run back through it.
Right.
But make your top looks good. See how clean that number is?
That's 130 amps. That was a lot. Trying to get that to just follow.
But you're not just picture perfect. That's what they need to realize too.
We'll run that.
Now this side's picture perfect, so
It should run good. That's probably the tightest I've ever ran on an amp. So
really,
everything I've ever run is an amp.
I'm not saying it's not good enough.
No.
All I'm asking is, so you haven't done much.
It's always, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so even on hard pipe, you can preheat it and you can run that quickly. Okay.
It goes to
See, this is good for both of them.
Oh yeah, because I was on that test.
You will undercut the shit out of it.
I undercut my test.
But, so probably 90% of what I've done has all been fab. Batteries, tube, a lot of freaking tubing, buddy. I can weld the tubing.
well.
Yeah,
I love fab.
I do too.
I just never can find enough.
Yeah.
Well, let's leave it at yeah. What do you want? 130? Are you sure? Oh yeah, you are. The amount of pressure. This is what I was told by a welder who heard it from an older gentleman. Said the amount of pressure that you have is the same amount of pressure if someone gave you a pine cone as toilet paper.
Rocket or just slightly, you can see it rolling just.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can sit there and shake it.
What do you mean?
Dang, dude.
Like if that keyhole?
Well, because that rod sucks, so whenever you're going, it'll start to fingernail on you. And if you pay attention, it won't look like it's fingernail, but if you look at that keyhole, it'll start slacking off on you.
Yep.
So if you sit there and you rock that just you don't have to move it a whole lot. You know, like a lot of them guys will get in there and they'll
Sean.
sit here and do huge, sit over here looking.
Towing?
Over here. I got a shotgun on him or something. Choice
I don't see nothing.
I don't see any type of welding. Looks like a car parking lot. Yeah, definitely it's towing post.
Hi, love.
When you left,
What are you up to?
I'm just gonna say good luck on your test. Sorry, I was so out of it this morning.
How's your boy doing?
And how are you doing?
Balin, how are you doing?
North Call.
All right, I love you.
Love you.
See ya.
Test day preparation.
Cutting the top of the branch. Wondered where my welding truck is.
Which one? The one I got?
Yeah. So Primo is the one that bought that welding truck from me.
I think Rich Schofield, he's a hell of a gentleman and a scholar, and I love him.
And I love him.
Once you pass the test, you're obligated not to lie ever again. Tyler gets it.
Smoke. Yeah, I should have greased them.
Got a good one. Voila. What are you doing?
Laying out the 375 wall branch template.
They gave us 10 inches to work with.
Leatherbacks.
Got that whole thing ready.
Cut and weld. Cut and weld.
What's up, YouTube?
Any wisdom, Whitey?
Whitey, how's your truck coming along?
Good.
Tell me a little bit about you.
I got bottles. Just bought a truck for my dad for $3 grand. 92
Nice.
Ford. A little gasser, but
Do everything you need
Sweet
to.
truck.
Yeah. You have to get a video of it sometime, but
We'll have to do a rig tour of it.
got a machine from Henry, one of the welders we work with. You guys have seen him.
Borrowed it from him.
You know Henry was the first person we ever met off YouTube?
Henry was?
Henry was. Henry was the first person we ever met.
Yeah. Got the truck. Buying leads Primo pipeline. Buying leads from him, and then gonna practice for a good month. Get it all down, and I'm gonna go look for a test.
Hell yeah.
Is welding with a new machine a little different
Oh gosh,
when you're used to an
I
older
was
one?
used to Tyler's machine, and then
Tyler's got a beautiful
So
one.
I was jacking with Whitey, and he was asking Henry how much he wanted for that machine. I said, Henry, I'll give you 11 grand for it right now. And you could have seen the freaking like die in my heart look from Whitey. He was
I was like,
no!
what? Like,
He
no.
He didn't say nothing.
I was just, and my heart just dropped.
But Whitey would have been pretty sad.
Yeah. I
But
was like, no, I just loaded that. Like, that's gonna get me going.
yeah, Henry's a good guy. Even if
pulled
he
a
had
fast
that
one.
offer, he probably would have been like, no, I already promised it. And would have saved it.
Tried to pull a fast one on me.
Yeah.
Hey.
Flacco's surprised that he's not touching the grinder.
I am, man. I'm
That's a test for you, man.
test for you. It's all on him right now.
That's right. Only thing Flacco's in charge of is the heat.
There's the heat.
And if he messes up on that,
I'll take that right now over messing him up.
Hey you guys, it don't have to be perfect. You clean up right now, because you're going to wind up cleaning up quite a bit of this.
you'll still have gaps.
You'll still have little gaps. The goal with the templates though, like make the gaps as little as possible so it doesn't take so damn long.
I was telling him that you can always mark it out with the blue book,
Yep.
but the gaps on your ears and your throats are like this big.
Oh,
And they're just, and so you got hours of cleanup, whereas if you take the time, clean one up just nice, and then make yourself a template, in the future, it saves you 2 or 3 hours per test. In your welding career, you will take more than one welding test.
a lot.
You've ever tried to cut one out with the blue book, you are nowhere near this. Your gaps are up here, your ears are like tight, and they need to come, it's a mess. But now Jake is marking this. Why? So he knows which side goes where, aims which way, and he can match it that way every single time so that when he cuts his hole, right here, he's looking at these little gaps right there. And so what he's going to do is he marks it where it ends, and he'll just take that flapper dance tiger paw and clean them up. But he's already eliminated 3/4 of the work just from having a template. We got cool hitchhiker frames in the background. Wow. Heck yeah, thank you, Primo.
Yes, sir.
Oh. All right, you guys, welcome back. Okay, so we just got this all prepped. We got started really late on this test, so they gave us today to just prep it, get it all built, and then tomorrow we're gonna go wind up taking the test. And but this makes life so much easier. It's gonna make this test just hurry, fly by, then we can get back to work. But guys, one of the things I do now, everybody does this a little different, and I noticed on Connor's he does his just a little bit different. But I only grind the bevel to about that point on each side. Okay, this is already got like a natural bevel on it because it's flat, so it just basically makes this a fillet weld. Makes it really easy to weld, less weld to go into it, and it's nice that way. So on this 375 wall, I really laid the bevel back. On this one, might need to lay it back even farther. It looks like it might be just a hair bit tight, so I'm going to go ahead, go back into this, grind the bevel back a little bit farther so that it's a little steeper. And when it comes time to weld this thing, you got to grind that bevel deep enough or steep enough that you can actually get a rod in there and clean out everything. So highly, highly important. Your straps are coming out of there, so you better know what that thing needs to be doing. Got the hole all prepped, everything's ready to go. Gap, just another branch, you guys. If you are a rig welder, you will take a lot of them, so just well get used to them. Morning, everybody. Golly, yesterday was so cool. All right, so we had a guy named Clay. He came out, and while we were out here trying to set up this test coupon so that we could show you guys what 130 amp bead, how to set up for it and whatnot, guys, he took probably a good 2 hours to explain to us the way he runs a route and the way that just kind of the way he would set up for something like that. Now guys, I am not somebody that is too, I don't know, how would you put that? I'm not somebody that is too good to take advice from somebody. Yesterday, I learned things that I had no idea about, okay? To be honest with you, there is always something you can be learning. And with the guys that have been doing it, the old veterans that have been doing this for freaking ever, he's been doing this for 16, 17 years. Welding every day basically, and so he's got way better idea on certain things than I do, for damn sure. I mean, for probably 99% of anything that I do, he's got a better way of doing it. All right, so to have him sit out here and help us out and show us how he sets up for it guys, it totally changed the way I will run a route from now on, all right? It's so much faster, it's so much cleaner looking, and it's just, it's a beautiful route. And, oh man, it's fast. Don't get me wrong, it's really fast. But one of the things he does, he says your gap in your land should be equal. So he runs a 16th inch gap and a 16th inch land. All right, then he's able to run that kind of heat and that kind of, and the speed that he's running at. But my word, it was so cool to sit out here and have Clay sit out here and help us out and kind of, I mean, gosh dang, I've been doing this for 8 years. And for real, yesterday I went home and I was like, dude, I will not run a route the same way I have been for the last 8 years. And so now I'm coming out here this morning. We're gonna go ahead and practice this, and I got one weld I can do out of a piece of 10-inch, and then from there we're gonna, I don't know what we're gonna do the rest of the day, but probably cut one more set of coupons and then probably be done for the day. But I'm gonna keep practicing that method because to me it is such a better method. Okay, so one of the things that he talks about, and one of the things I was having trouble with is undercut on my roots. And he told me, he says, one of the reasons you're getting undercut is you're soaking this root in. And he says, and then, so one of the reasons he says I'm getting undercut is because I'm soaking the roots in. And I did not know this. And so he told me, he said, and I'm pushing too hard. And I felt like I've always not pushed very hard, but he was showing me how hard he pushes, and I'm like triple what he's doing. And so, guys, to avoid undercutting your roots, which it blew my mind yesterday, okay? I could run as fast as I wanted from top to bottom, but it didn't undercut when I used his method. Now, I'm talking like, guys, you're basically barely touching the pipe. Like, just stick it on there and just kind of drag and go with it. It's amazing. So the rest of what I've been doing is I've been like kind of jamming on it a little bit, but kind of just really, I was putting too much pressure on the pipe. And he doesn't put hardly any pressure on the pipe. The other thing is he doesn't soak a root in. His roots are, how would you say it? They're not flush, but they're damn close. And they are narrow and just beautiful in there. They are amazing. So those are the two things I learned yesterday. So I'm gonna practice those. I'm gonna preheat this chunk of pipe. I'm gonna get it all set up with a 16th inch gap, 16th inch land, and from there we're gonna go ahead and just slick in some roots and see what happens today. All right, so everybody stay tuned, be blessed. We got a whole bunch of video on this because it goes from me talking to you guys about this right here. Okay, so we got through this. Now we're gonna jump over and I'm gonna prep all this and I'm gonna show you how to run it. Then we're gonna go over and we're gonna show you how we prep the test that we just busted. And the reason we busted it is because we undercut the inside of it. I hate telling you guys that stuff, but in my opinion, it makes me a better welder because, hey, you guys know about it, I know about it, blah, blah, blah. We're gonna go from there, all right? But it also gives you guys something to look forward to because now I get to practice on fixing it and making it better, and you guys get to watch, all right? So those are two things that freaking Clay just helped us with yesterday. Absolutely blew my mind. It was amazing. So anyway, stay tuned, be blessed. Let's get this stuff started. Get the wheel stuff. We're on 130 amps. I got the remote just in case this gets crazy. But yeah, I got about a 16th inch all the way around. There's one spot right there that might be like a 332. But not too bad, alright? Let's do this. 50 amps. Or 130 amps, sorry, 150 on the remote. only like barely pushing on this thing. I got pump up. Good driving at a time that keep. Hard to run it though. Guys, I'm barely pushing. I mean, I'm 15 days doesn't fit in my hand. Bump up a little. Oh, that's right here. Bump up a little. We're gonna go ahead and do 170 amps. That's what I hot pass on 3 inch on the flow lines. That's what I'm hot passing on is 170 amps. So